Welcome to part 28 of the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword playthrough. We had just got the sea chart from freaking the pirate robot. I forgot his name, because, in all honesty, if you guys in the audience couldn't already tell, I don't really care about the stuff you do in between dungeons in this game. And it's only this Zelda game specifically because there is a lot of time in between the dungeons. Even though I have cut out some of the stuff, but the stuff that is considered content by the game I have left in because that's just how that works in this game. Like, yeah, there are interesting obstacle courses throughout the in between dungeons, but you know, it's kind of weird that they're not in the dungeons. They're just kind of like all this stuff here. The level design purely exists just to be an obstacle course, and you're never gonna come back here unless you want to be a completionist. Which, yeah. So it's weird. Yeah, and with like all the in-between stuff in other Zelda games have usually been a lot shorter and a lot more. I don't know if significance is the right word, but it just feels like what you're doing is more important because there's less downtime in between the dungeons. I think that's the best way to put that. You have unlocked more of the map. Wind Waker be like.
I've been meaning to play Wind Waker again recently.
Yeah, Wind Waker is... I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was just kind of a bland experience, at least to me. I didn't play it, like, as a kid. I only played it more recently when I was more aware of, you know, video game design. I'm more... I could be set for this game, too, because I did grow up with it, but now that I know game design, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really like this game as much anymore. Yeah. But, no, freaking... at least the Wii U version, you know, makes sailing a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
And at least
I played the Wii U version originally.
Yeah. And since Wind Waker, you know, kind of with its ocean, it kind of has a, like, open world Ubisoft mechanic where, you know, you need to, like, get to a marker or whatever, and that'll unveil more of the map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically what I do. I always, whenever I play Wind Waker, I always fill out the entire sea chart. Because it's fun like that. Do I do all the side quests? No. I don't. But it's fun nonetheless. I'm glad they didn't, like, you know, do a whole freaking Wind Waker mechanic just for this only section of the game. Because, like I said, you're not going to be visiting this place after we're done with the ocean. So I'm glad they didn't just pull that out of their ass. What's this part? Oh yeah, the shipyard. This is also superfluous, and there's no reason for being here. Like, literally, no, literally, I'm gonna say this at the end because now that we have the sea chart, we're looking for the pirates' enemy hideout, and so this is not that. And by the end of it, the little pirate buddy we have literally said, "Oh, that was just a waste of time."
Really?
Yeah. So that's why I kind of said that they put a whole bunch of obstacle course level design just for the sake of being an obstacle course with no real thought process on how to do it. And it sucks for this little obstacle course specifically because this is a minecart riding one. That sounds awesome for a dungeon, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what this is? Not a dungeon. But yeah, here we go. Yada yada yada. Is the video still going? Oh yeah, this I don't care about this stuff really.
It's like the stuff we actually pay attention to is the dungeons, then everything between that is just a blur.
You know, that most likely will be your general Skyward Sword experience, even if you are playing it for the first time. Because the dungeons are spectacular, some of the best in the series. But it's the adventure that goes along with the dungeons. And, you know, it's kind of weird to, like, say it in this way, I suppose. I'm not sure if other Zelda fans do this, you know, like, split off. Like, think of Zelda games as two separate things, the adventure and the dungeons themselves. I'm not sure if other fans do that necessarily, but I feel like with this game specifically, there's a necessity to, because there's a significant quality spike. Or like if you were to put the quality of Skyward Sword on a chart, it's just a roller coaster. And the tops of it are always at the dungeons, and the bottoms of it are always this stupid freaking stuff in between. And, you know, I don't necessarily want to like split the game up into two different mindsets, because it should just be the journey, it should just be the experience, right? But yeah, no. Well, I'm not sure how you kind of view Zelda games, since you haven't really played a lot of them.
Yeah, I haven't really played too many Zelda games, and even the ones I have played, I haven't gotten very far in them.
Gotcha.
I think literally the only Zelda game I actually like played through beginning to end was Wind Waker.
Gotcha. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the Indiana Jones theme. But yeah, on the, you know, the original Wii version, you had to do that motion control.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, because, you know, I'm playing button controls here, I can just use the left stick to tilt the minecart. But, no. If you're using motion controls or playing on the original hardware, you use the Wii remote. Is it fun? It can be if it's, you know, if it's, aligned correctly. Yeah, because the original Wii version, I can't recall if the Switch version has the problem too. Because they both use gyroscope controls. Like, the original Wii version doesn't use the pointer as its function.
Really?
Yeah, it's because you needed the Wii Motion Plus in order to play this game. Like, if you got like, I don't know, day one copies or just new copies when it came out, it was usually bundled with a Wii Motion Plus remote. So yeah, but if you didn't have it, you know, you kind of need that little nub to be plugged in at the end of the.
Yeah, like a little extension on the controller.
Right. Yeah. So in order to play this game. In fact, if you don't have one, but you put Skyward Sword into your Wii, like the very first thing that it plays is a tutorial on how to put the Wii Motion Plus sensor onto the Wii remote. Like the game won't begin. Like,
like that's all it will do. It will basically tell you to put the thing on before you start playing.
Right? Yeah. I think you might see the title screen, but you're not gonna get any farther than that.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a good safety protocol in case you buy it used and, you know, you just don't happen to have a Wii Motion Plus thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, go onto Amazon, find it for like, I don't know, $5 maybe. But that's nothing. That's nothing. But yeah, the game uses the Wii Motion Plus purely due to the fact the game requires a lot of you know, precise movements with your sword swings, because it has a bunch of sword swing puzzle. You know, puzzle solving is part of the combat. So
yeah.
In order to make specific slices with your sword, you need something more accurate than the default Wii remote. Because the default Wii remote, some people may use it like a tennis racket, like literally. You don't need to use it like a tennis racket. You can just shake the thing, and it'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, just flick your wrists. It'll be fine. You do not have to do specific functions with the remote. It's kind of sad to, like, you know, reveal the illusion behind the thing. But it's just kind of whatever. Because that's how the Wii was initially marketed. Because you know, motion controls, you're actually chopping sushi by doing all these knife motions. You know. Oh, hello, Dungeon 3 boss again. I don't know why you're here. This is stupid.
Yeah, this is kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, you just, for whatever reason, you're supposed to have a rematch with the boss, Dungeon 3 boss. And, yeah. And dungeon bosses are supposed to be treated like the biggest horror or something or whatever. You know, they're meant to be a big deal, but then you just find one out in the open as if it were a common enemy.
Yeah. I kind of like that idea, having like really strong enemies early on be like basic enemies like later in the game and stuff like that. But this isn't really a great way to do it.
Yeah, no, like I have played games where that is the idea, like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Actually, funny enough, some of the early game bosses become common enemies by the end of game, and so that's kind of cool. But if you happen to notice, well, like, well, for one thing. This is in the middle of the game. This is not end game. This is nowhere near end game.
Yeah.
And two, Zelda dungeon bosses are treated much differently than Metroidvania bosses.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly a fair comparison, but you know, the general idea is there, but it's stupid. Let's not negate the fact that this entire part is filler. There, defeated. Don't know why we had to fight you again, but yeah. Second worst part of the game, right there. The first part was revisiting Dungeon 1 for stupid reasons, and now we've... Oh yeah. I think Fee just said it. Oh yeah, it's like we have like a 99% chance we're gonna find it here, and then after we defeat the Dungeon 3 boss again, it's like, oh yeah, there's no chance of finding it here. Sorry. We just wasted your time. Am I gonna save? Oh wow, I didn't save. I'm actually surprised. I'm usually one to do that if I just like walk by a freaking save point or whatever. I usually go out of my way to, you know, save at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily, because sometimes I do it in, you know, my repeated playthroughs of Resident Evil 4. I can just save at the chapter ends. I don't necessarily need to save at the typewriters every single time. But if I want to, I want to. But I usually go out of my way to go to the save points and save at every moment. That's kind of actually, like one of your downfalls for the Metroid Zero mission playthrough. I kind of remember because you skipped over a save point in near end game, and you're like one of your Zero Suit Samus, and then you died.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I remember that. Yeah, I skipped the save and ended up dying, which means I had to do a lot of like getting back to where we were.
Yeah, it was funny for sure, but
yeah,
not exactly what you want to do.
I mean, usually, like, I mean, I'll save if, like, every once in a while just to make sure that, like, I'm not, you know, obviously losing a lot of progress if something bad happens. But like, usually I don't want to do it too often either, because then it feels like I'm too, like, concerned about it.
Sure.
So for stuff like Zero Mission, I did something kind of similar, I think, for Metroid Dread, where I only saved, like, every once in a while.
Hmm. I get you. I mean, I guess if you were looking at it from the outside, you kind of do look like a paranoid motherfucker. If you just
I feel like I'd look paranoid if I was saving at literally every opportunity I had when I was in one of those save rooms.
I was like, did I save, or I don't know if I saved. Let me save again. Yeah. Yeah, some games would be like that.
I mean, for, like, I guess kind of in that situation, like, if I'm not 100% sure I actually saved, I would do it again just in case, but, like, most of the time, like, I'm like, yeah, I already know I saved still pretty recently, I'll just skip this one for now.
Yeah. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know I don't know where this thought came up from, but Metroid Other M's structure, it is a terrible structure, but like it just made me think, because in that game, the save rooms, you have to save at them before unlocking the next room.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, you can't progress further with the game unless you save at the save room. So, it just kind of, I don't know, just kind of made me think that, like, are the save spots considered optional in that case? Or is it just that Metroid Other M has a terrible structure? It could be both for all I know. You know? Because maybe if you're a speedrunner, you might only save, what, one time?
If at all.
Right? You're just that good at the game?
Exactly.
Oh, son of a bitch. I want the silver rupees. Give me the silver rupees. Why am I not going through that nostril? Go. Why am I going through the same one? Give me... Yeah, I did it. So this is the enemy pirate's hideout. Yeah. It's also what the game considers to be a mini dungeon. Not a full-out flesh dungeon, but a mini dungeon. Some Zelda games have that. Not sure why exactly they're considered mini, or at least because they're still dungeons, but they're just smaller in scope, I guess, and maybe less significant to the story.
Maybe.
There we go. I figured it out. We enter through the side door because the front door is not open. Oh, the video's still going. Damn it.
Shit, we gotta spend more time with this game.
Oh, god damn. I thought I had cut it. I thought that was the break. I thought that was
It kind of felt like it was gonna be a break.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of like talking about nonsense, but oh no, the video's still going.
Wait, we gotta stall for longer.
That's basically the point of this mini dungeon. It's just a stall. This would have been a neat point to have that, you know, that minecart section, or that freaking the claw shot section. But no. Well, especially the minecart section, because that was literally pointless. Because yeah, I don't want to be doing all the claw shot stuff necessarily, but you at least got the C chart and progress through the game. The minecart section was fuck all nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah.
But it's whatever. I kind of don't remember the significance on why we have to do the mini dungeon actually. Frick. I don't care. I think that the overall objective right now, like why we need to find the sea chart, blah 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 blah, is so we can find the sand ship. That's the pirate robot's old sand ship before it got taken over by demons and all that. So I guess we're here in the enemy territory to basically see if the sand ship is here, or at least know the whereabouts of where the enemy pirates are. And yeah. Oh yeah, these little things. This is like the time shift stones, but you get it in an orb and you can just take it along with you. That's a neat idea.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. you can make enemies come alive.
Yeah.
And I think I've done this in the playthrough already, but if you can knock them out of bounds and make them become dead again. So,
oh really?
Yeah. So it's funny like that. And stab in the eye. Yeah. I think first timers will have an awful time like battling those. Those are the game's BMOs. So because usually, you know, in every other Zelda game, you usually take out BMOs with like a bomb or whatever. But in this game, they have specific you know, cuts that you need to make in order to cut them down to size. You know? But for a first timer, you might not exactly understand that. Well, maybe by this point in the game, I sure hope someone would actually.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd kind of think you probably would when you're this far in the game.
yeah, especially since we've already encountered the BMO specifically. So, I would hope that, you know, first timers would understand, hey, the combat is puzzle based, and we actually have to stop and think about our motions instead of going all hog wild on the sword button. Especially since it's not a button, it's a Wii remote. Oh, fancy. Oh, that I fucking faded it out like that. Jesus Christ. Oh, what a I'm a gamer. I'm a content creator. I know. I mean, there was 20
Professionals, we
minutes.
swear.
We're professionals, we swear. I mean, yeah, it's a fade to black. It's whatever.